Welcome back to Empowered. I'm Elizabeth Namofsky. Today's episode, we're discussing embodying empowerment by discovering your unique abilities. Kim, before we went to break, we were talking about the fact, ask questions. And I'd said to you, my mother always said, if you don't know, ask. But there's a whole new generation out there right now that's afraid to ask questions. And they're afraid of having, asking the wrong question or whatever. What would you say to somebody who's coming out of university right now and is afraid of that next step?
Well, I think informational interviews are an excellent way to get a better understanding. And talking to people who are doing something. Like, I thought I wanted to become an HR person.
Oh.
And I got an interview with someone in HR, and they said, "You think HR is helping people?" And he said, "My job, the part of my job I hate the most is firing people. Do you want to be doing a lot of that?" And I realized that wasn't, he was right. I did not understand what this job was all about, and I looked elsewhere. So go out there and do informational interviews. If you think you want to do something, go chat with somebody in that role and find out whether it suits you. You'll get a good judgment on that.
Actually, that's excellent, words of advice. I'm a firm believer of mentorship. I think, everybody needs it in order to get to the next level or whatever. Did you have a mentor that helped you succeed in the industry?
Absolutely. I actually had 3 mentors. I had 2 men and a woman. And the woman wasn't in my field, the 2 men were. And it's absolutely critical. You need a senior person who sees in you their younger selves, and they want to support you. But it's a 2-way street in mentorship. You have to give back to whoever's giving you support.
Agreed.
So when they tell you to read a book or to take a course, do it. And by the time you come back, go tell them that you did it. And that'll be very encouraging to them. But it was very critical for me to find a senior woman. And one of my mentors helped me find that person. And it was Deanne Cohen. And she ended up being on many corporate boards. And she had tremendous, she's still alive today. She just has a tremendous common sense. But there was these delicate issues for me as a woman that no other women, I didn't know any other senior women in my industry. Mm-hmm. How should I deal with them? Like, for example, I was trying to get pregnant. I just got offered a very huge promotion. Should I tell my new boss? And the answer was no.
You know what? You're not the first one to say that, because I was talking to Nevena Trajkova, and we were talking about tenured positions at universities, and she was saying the exact same thing.
Exactly. That and I ended up doing excellent jobs for them and built up a lot of assets because I didn't abandon my job when I was successful enough to have a child. And it bonds you to the organization more when they support you when you're doing that. But I needed that kind of advice from someone with that kind of seniority to know that that was the right thing to do.
I think we all need that type of advice, regardless of what industry we're in, whether it's finance or whatever. We always need that one person to go to, someone that we can bounce ideas off of, someone that can help guide us to that next level. I want to switch it over to networking. Some people think networking is great. Others think that it's a waste of time. What to you is networking? What are the types of networking, and how are they effective, and what are their benefits?
Sure. Networking is important at every layer of your career. At the early stages of your career, it's about meeting your peer group and just asking them, what's it like at your shop? What do you do? And what are all the different firms in the industry? I might be at an asset management firm, and you're at a brokerage firm. How's that different? And you're a sell-side analyst. Can you tell me more about that? And so you learn about your industry. And that is very, very critical. At more senior levels of your career, you meet your peers, and you try and get to know people not only in your local community, and that's where you build out your knowledge base, but then you go to global conferences and you start meeting the investment greats of the world, and you get to feel and smell them and see how they think and see how they respond. And that can help you. And it's also about doing a lot of volunteerism and sitting on boards, meeting other people, and getting known, getting invited to things like this, to sit here and speak with you, and spreading out your name so that when you're an entrepreneur like myself and you're being put up as a potential firm to hire, people say, yes, I've heard of Kim before. I've seen her. I like her. And that helps you get the business.
But I mean, that's why you're here, because you've got this incredible wealth of knowledge, and it will be helpful to so many people going forward. Don't go away. We'll be right back.